Al, they made a new Legend of Zelda game. I don't know if you've heard of this. It's very surprising. Like, it just came out of the blue, and it's out there now. They just put it out. They're like, here you go, have at it, have fun, kids. See you later.
They basically gave us like no warning that it was coming out, and they're like, "By the way, Zelda, woo, bye."
Goodbye. Yeah, the newest Legend of Zelda, Echoes of Wisdom, is out. We've played it, and we're gonna talk about it.
And there's one significant thing about it.
It's on the Switch.
I mean, that is correct. Not the significant thing about it.
It's a new 2D Zelda game.
Still true, still not the significant thing.
Well, we'll get into the significance here.
Okay.
On this week's episode of the Season Anime Checkup OVA, it's a podcast where we have conversations about video games, anime, and manga. Hello, I'm Jared, joined as always by Doc, Al, and Ladium.
Hello.
This is episode number 408, and yeah, we're talking about The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. A video game.
With Zelda.
With Zelda. It truly is The Legend of Zelda this time.
This time it is The Legend of Zelda. Because you play as Zelda.
Yes. Let's see here. This game came out on September the 26th of this year, so, a couple weeks back. On that there Nintendo Switch. You may have heard of it.
As you previously mentioned, what's significant about it?
Yes, that's one of the big signifiers of it, of course. It currently has an 86 out of 100 on the Metacritic and a 91% on OpenCritic, so, well received from the critics. In its first week in Japan, it sold 200,121 physical copies. It was the best-selling retail game of the week in Japan.
Nice.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Zelda.
You did it.
You did it.
Yeah, this is like I said, this is a new Zelda game made by Grezzo, the team that made the Link's Awakening remake. So it is basically that same style and engine reused here, but for a new game. So you kind of, if you've played that, you know exactly what to expect from like the visuals and all that sort of stuff.
Yes.
So yeah.
And gameplay for the most part. Like you're gonna have like the 2D sections and overworld exploration and that kind of thing.
Jump button.
What?
There's a jump button.
Jump button. Yes.
Yes. Did you think I said something else?
I wasn't sure what you said, and my brain is so fried, and it's only Tuesday.
That's
so
fair. That is fair.
I don't know what to tell you, but
could have been anything.
Button. It could have been anything. It could have been Jump Man for all we know. But jump button, yes, there is a jump button, which puts her ahead of some Links who cannot jump.
It's true. Let's talk about the development of this game.
Okay.
The development of Echoes of Wisdom began after the completion of development on the Link's Awakening remake as a new 2D top-down Zelda game for the Switch, originally as an expansion of the dungeon editor system in Link's Awakening before becoming an original game.
They've been working on this for that long as a secret. Like, how did they keep that secret for that long?
That's just like how Nintendo operates nowadays. It's just like...
Our jumping is good.
Yeah, they make stuff and they don't talk about it until they're ready to talk about it. Again,
honestly, more people should do that.
Again, I feel like this is a byproduct of, them... Metroid and Tears of the Kingdom, just jumping the gun too early and being like, hey, we're making this, and then it's like, okay.
Ugh.
We'll see this in 3,000 years. But yeah. Grezzo director Satoshi Terada and Nintendo director Tomomi Sano worked on the game with series producer Eiji Aonuma, contributing new ideas such as the Echo system and having Zelda as the protagonist rather than Link. Terada struggled to come up with ideas for Echoes because the development team was worried about the problems it could cause, such as being too weak or too strong and having to function in both top-down and side-on views. Aonuma wanted to bring a new creativity and innovation to the series, feeling that Link's Awakening offered a new approach to combining gameplay from these perspectives. He asked Grezzo to work with Nintendo EPD Group Number 3 on the game, as it was the first time they had worked on an original Zelda game rather than a remake. The game features the art style from Link's Awakening remake, of course. Echoes of Wisdom is the first main Zelda game with Princess Zelda as the playable character.
Well, they clarified that, because Hyrule Warriors exists.
She was previously playable in games developed by third-party companies such as Zelda, the Wand of Gamelon, and Zelda's Adventure for the Philips CDI, and spin-off games such as Hyrule Warriors and Cadence of Hyrule. According to Aonuma, Link was originally going to be the protagonist, but he was concerned that players would neglect the Echo system in favor of using weapons, which, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's fair.
Making Zelda the protagonist provided a justification for the Echo's mechanic while satisfying fans' requests for her to be playable. And then it was announced on June 18th of this year during a Nintendo Direct, and then released, like I said, on September 26th.
Like that is not a big gap at all between announcing and releasing. That is wild.
It's again another quick turnaround.
Mm-hmm.
So there is, of course, that. Another one reason for why this game's probably pretty good. Shocker, we like this game. Miyamoto's not in the credits. They said, "Hit the bricks, old man.
Get out of here.
New blood's here.
Yeah, let the new kids in."
Finally.
I mean, I think his name was still in the credits for the most recent Mario, but like it was the same kind of situation there where like they just let new blood do Mario, and it was like one of the best Marios that has been out in ever. Not ever, but like in a long time.
Yeah. And I think this as well, this is the first time a woman has directed a mainline Zelda game with Tomomi Sano.
Hell yeah, good for her.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, makes sense. So you'd have a lady in a Zelda.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, this is a game where you play as Zelda. You get to make echoes of pretty much whatever you want, essentially, that's in the world. And you can use those to help you through puzzles, help you in combat, take a nap if you need to, create just a weird construction of something. I don't know, if you just wanted to do that, you could do that, I guess.
I had so many strange solutions to problems in this game, and it was fantastic. Like, some of the things that I did, I was like, that shouldn't have worked, and it did.
Yeah, I think the key thing about this game is that it's very similar to like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, where those games had a very open way of just letting you kind of figure out what you needed to do to solve puzzles and everything and just come up with your own solutions. And this game has a similar idea where like you have all these echoes at your disposal that you can kind of just do whatever you want to maneuver your way through a dungeon, a puzzle, an enemy encounter, or what have you, essentially.
Yeah, you've got all the tools given to you. You just have to figure out like, how do I use these to solve the problem? And not every single person is going to have the exact same solution to every single problem.
Right, exactly. Cool. Yeah.
I feel like there may be some cool videos out there of like people, well, there would if the Switch sharing system still worked well.
Yeah.
Thanks. But there would be some cool videos of like how I solved this solution or this problem. It's like, I imagine there'd be some really creative things.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, one of the first things I saw was like the exploit to be like, hey, you want to kill enemies quick? Just place a water block and then drag your enemy into the water and watch them drown.
It's so dark.
Which, I mean, it works, but
no, it works. And like I would use water blocks to go like if I needed to go up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I would use water blocks, and there's also the exploit of the like swamp like guy. I forget what he's named, but you can stack those.
Yes.
So you can just keep going higher with those. So I mean, you can't go infinitely higher because you eventually run out of guys. But I mean, it's a pretty nice thing to be able to stack them.
Makes it very convenient in that way as well.
That dude had to be like my most used.
Yeah, I use that a lot. I use the water block a lot. I use the table box thing that they basically show you at the very beginning of the game a lot as well. Like, I mean, it's hey, they show you at the beginning of the game to use this, and it works a lot. Like,
it works.
I probably stopped using it around the time I got like water blocks because those were just more effective.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like that combination was very good. Also, just
bed stacking.
Bed stacking was a huge thing, of course. Just using that for thing, and then like using Zelda's bed as a quick like heal,
Oh yeah.
just in between
Zelda's
like
bed is the
fights.
best one.
Just
Especially if you have
take
the
a little
Zelda
nap.
PJs on.
Oh, I didn't have the PJs, so
Yeah, if you have PJs, she heals so fast in bed. It's a side quest in the Gerudo Desert.
ah.
Um, but she just walks around in the little jammies.
Yeah, I kind of stopped doing a bunch of the side quests near the end of the game because I was like just getting towards the end, and like I felt like a lot of the side quests kind of just didn't really give me much to begin with. So I was like, whatever. I'll
Hey, do
just
you want 20 rupees?
yeah, I was just like, I'll just do the main story stuff. It's fine, whatever. So I definitely
Yeah.
did not like 100% this game, because I had 4 missing hearts. I don't think I had the echo meter all the way maxed out or anything. I didn't have like all my tools maxed out, so which is like fine,
I
so whatever. I was okay, so
yeah, I'm missing a single heart piece and I'm missing the like last few of the like blocks to make my meter bigger. Except for like my weapons are all full. It would just give me like a thing that I can go in front of his house and refresh my meter whenever I wanted to, which I was like,
ah,
that would be nice if I still had anything to do in the game.
right, yeah.
But I don't. So I was like, all I lack is a single heart piece, and I'm not doing it because it's that like um the sleeping mini game where you have to go sleep and fight things.
Oh, with the like the training dude.
And Kakariko,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing 11 of those things to get a heart piece. No
I
way.
did like 2 of them.
I did enough to get the knife so I could take that to Dampe
Yeah.
to get the automaton. But after that I was like, I'm good.
Yeah.
Um although it was pretty funny. There's one where you have the oh shoot, what are they called? Like the mummy guys, Gabitos or something.
Mhm.
Jabitos, I don't know what they're called. Jabronis.
The mummies.
The mummies. You you could just like grab them with the little hand thingy
Mhm.
and just drop them in the hole in the center. And so like that's
Good.
how that's how I did that one. It's just like, here you go, bonk. Here you go, bonk. Here you
That's the way
go,
to do
bonk.
it.
Yeah, because like if you got them close enough to the hole with the fans, then like it's nothing to drag them over there. I was like,
Mhm.
all right, you want to die? But I did always put on the PJs when I was doing the sleeping things after I got the PJs because it's like, you know what? This feels right.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense.
Otherwise, I was a kitty.
The cat costume is very funny.
It's really good. I was the like black and white kitty.
I didn't know there's multiple.
Yeah, apparently there's another kitty, if you don't get the amiibo version that you can get in Kakariko.
That's the one I have.
So it's a black and white kitty?
No, it's like a orange and black.
Orange and black.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So that's the one I have, and I could talk
I
to all the
want to see
cats.
yours.
I'll boot it up and send you a picture of it after we do this.
Please.
Um, but yeah, so you get to talk to all the cats, and I like to talk to I talked to the cat in Zelda's room one time, and the cat's like, I'm security here, don't worry. I was like,
Yeah, it
that's
was
good.
great. It was like you're doing a great job, buddy. I'm proud of you. I also like how a lot of them like called their people like their person friend or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was like, oh, that's really cute. The one like over by the beach who's like, they always feed me stuff that I don't like and it sucks, but I feel bad because they keep doing it and she's trying real hard. Can you like give me something else and then like give her this thing? I was like, oh, poor cat suffering.
Cat's doing its best.
Cat's doing its best. Um, but yeah, this game was fun. I also think it's interesting that it basically just like replicates the Link to the Past map, but then expands on it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have things like you have the little plateau where Link's house was in Link to the Past. You have the building south of that that is the dungeon where you get the hook shot in the dark world, but also it's where you drain the water in the light world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the forest where the flute boy is. You have like some ruins that were looking like potentially Kakariko at one point. Because Kakariko's moved more like northwest.
Yeah.
You have like the Zora area, let me clarify, the River Zora area that's still there. You have like Lake Hylia, you have the little like fairy pond in Lake Hylia. Like it's pretty much 1-to-1 for Link to the Past in that section, but then there's like expanded parts upon that. Then it's like, huh, like it's completely possible that there is more to the world of Link to the Past based on this, and we just didn't go there.
Yeah.
Like even the like first palace from Link to the Past is like something you can go in and fight like a fart cloud, basically.
And like if you go north straight from the plateau where Link's house was, like you go straight to Hyrule Castle. So like all that's
And
very accurate.
above that is the
Graveyard.
sanctuary and the graveyard. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like it's really close. So I like that. It's like, oh, it's a little love letter to Link to the Past. Yay. But then you also get like River Zora and Sea Zora also in the same game. It's like cool.
Who got beef with each other.
Yeah. But also like I'm pretty sure they're kind of in love.
All yeah, that too.
Like there's a side quest where like they disappear for a bit. And it's like, oh, they're making out. They're totally making out. They were not making out, but maybe they were. We just didn't know about it. But they're totally in love. They're gonna play their instruments together.
Mm-hmm.
One of them had a saxophone and one of them had a harp. Is that correct?
I think so.
Yeah. So it was neat to see the two of them together. It's kind of like how in like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom you get the Zora and the Rito together. So it makes me think that Nintendo is fully like man this timeline, which I am all about.
Yeah.
I'm all for that. And the Deku Scrubs, they came back. They're druggies this time.
They are.
They're on drugs. But you know, you if you don't know what they're doing, then you're a country kid. I
Country
forget exactly
bumpkin.
their country bumpkin. There you go. So you either do drugs or you're a country bumpkin.
Yeah, get that membership card.
Yeah. And eat spider webs. Blech, blech.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there's a lot of fun little winks and nods to that sort of stuff, and then just like you said, it's just a lot of stuff happening in this map and all that. I mean, if you were a fan of dungeons, they got dungeons in this game.
They got dungeons. They got lots of dungeons.
They got dungeons. Dungeons are back.
They've got some fun design to them, some of them.
Yeah.
The one in the Decker Scrub area, I was just like, oh, I hate this one. But the rest of them I was fine with.
I think the thing that is interesting about this game, which makes sense, was the fact that like one of the things early on is that like you find Link's sword because he gets kidnapped and everything. And they're just like, oh, you could just temporarily transform into Link and you could just do like the Link stuff. And it's like, oh, yeah, okay, sure, I guess.
Sure. You want to use a sword for a couple seconds? Neat. Do you want to use a bow for a couple seconds? Neat. Have fun.
It is limited because you have like a meter that lets you use it and everything. So like you can't just like turn it on and then you're just sword the whole time. So like you still have to rely on like your echoes and all that sort of stuff. But using the sword fighter stuff is very useful for like bosses and all that sort of stuff. So it's very much like a use case scenario rather than just like letting you play the whole game in this format essentially.
Yeah, but then it got to the end where I was confused. I was like, how do I fight this boss? Like, you took away my ability to actually fight back.
Oh, I was fine.
I mean,
I
I threw a Lionel at it, so it was
I
totally
never got a
fine.
Lionel. I saw a the first time I saw a Lionel was in that run up to the end fight. I was like, wait a
Really?
minute, what are you doing here?
Um, yeah, there's a Lionel in the forest.
Hmm.
But I mean that's how I beat it was I was like, all right, Lionel, have fun. Woo! But
I
like
had
I feel
my
like
my
I
big
couldn't
sword moblin
participate.
level 3.
Nice, nice,
Just
nice.
big
That's good
fella. Just
too.
I was like, go out there and just whack it a bunch, and I just ran
Have
around,
fun.
just
Yeah, I mean
avoiding
that's what I
stuff.
did. I just kind of ran around and avoided stuff. So I was kind of like, oh, I don't really get to participate in this fight, and that kind of stinks. But also like,
I
have
felt like
fun,
I was a
Lionel.
coach. I was just like, all right, go do the thing. Link, you're doing well. You have like infinite health, I guess. Keep it up, buddy.
Good
He's gonna nod
job.
back at you like,
Mm.
hmm.
But also stop attacking like the little guys and go after the main body Link. Come on. Come on, buddy. Chop chop.
Chop chop.
But yeah, I guess you are our coach. You're like, all right, level 3 Moblin and Link. I'm
Go
gonna
get
tell you what to
him.
do. Go get him. I'm your cheerleader. I just wanted to bonk things too.
I just ran up to it and just spun at it, for intimidation purposes.
No, that's fair. That's fair. I mean,
while
like,
while those two just did the work for me.
that's absolutely fair.
I did wonder if one of the other things I used a lot, especially for like flying enemies, was like the big plant thing that like had the like couple of spikes that came down and you use it as propellers to get in the air.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd use that a lot for like flying stuff. I wondered if because like by the time I'd gotten to that final fight, if like I probably could have like just put in like 3 or 4 of those, if like just using those would have worked better, because it would have been able to like
Um,
constantly hit. But I don't know if like the amount of damage it did would have like been better than just my one big moblin.
Probably not.
That's what I was thinking.
I mean, from my non-scientific analysis, it seemed like Lionel and level 3 Moblin, Sword Moblin were like the heaviest hitters.
Yeah. That's
Um,
basically what I assumed. But I did
yeah.
think of that at the time. I was just like,
Mm.
maybe.
Um, I do have to ask you one thing I want your opinion on.
What's up?
What do you think about Mr. Acorn Man?
Don't like him.
I hate the Acorn
I
Man.
did the acorn thing like twice, I think, and then never again. I was like, no.
He gives you like 20 rupees for
And
him.
I'm
Like,
like, nah, I'm
bro,
good, dude. Get out of here. Anytime I
like,
would try to talk to someone and it turned out to be him, I'm like, nah, get out of here.
knock it out of here. There's
I
there's
gotta
a single
leave.
one. He like a single one gives you a heart piece, and then another one gives you a piece for the automaton if you can
Right.
do it fast enough. Um, but like, man, that guy sucks. I like the stamp guy though. He's fun.
Stamp guy's good.
He just wants to do a stamp rally, and if you
Yeah.
get all the stamps, then he gives you his outfit.
Oh, that's pretty good.
So you get to run around in his little stamp hat.
Oh, that's pretty good.
It's pretty good. It doesn't do anything, but it's fine because it's the aesthetics, you
That's
know?
funny.
I was so happy when I got all the stamps. I was like, oh, hell yes. Look at this outfit.
I'm just gonna look through all these costumes and see what they are.
Is there a thing to look at the costumes?
I don't know. I'm looking. Well, here's all the accessories. Blah 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 blah. Clothing. You got your disguise, the outfit they give you, to travel around with.
Mm-hmm.
Customary attire, which is just like traditional Zelda attire. Pajamas.
The pajamas. I love the
Dancing
pajamas.
outfit.
I have that one.
Cat. Green
Cat.
tunic. Red tunic, which I have the red tunic. I have the blue attire, which is the traditional dress but blue. The black cat clothes, and then stamp suit. So that's it. You basically, like you said, you basically have everything, presumably.
I have all of those, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
So
that's
the
that.
dancing outfit like expands your hairspin.
Yeah. Which I guess it really
So
doesn't
like
do
if you
much, but
well, it does if you put on the accessory that makes that do damage.
I think we had an accessory that made it like do knockback.
Oh, well, knockback, that's what I mean.
But even then,
So
it was
you
just
can
like I'm not going in and like running at enemies, going ah.
ah, Do you see the difference in the cat clothes now?
Yeah, one's black, one's brown.
I have the black one, so I look like Game Boy.
I have the brown one. Or the orange one, really. So I look like Ichi.
You're Ichiban.
I'm
See, I couldn't get the
Ichiban.
orange one because I already had the black one.
It's real rude.
And they're like, oh, well, the cat clothes are sold out now. I'm like, what do you mean it's sold out?
Did you get a bunch of like your accessories stuff done up? Like did you go to like the ferry and like buy up like, hey, let me use all the accessories I want essentially?
I maxed it.
Okay. I don't think I maxed it because I was like, oh, it's 1,000 rupees or something to max it. I'm good.
Man, you just throw out some crows and let crows attack things and they get you money.
That's fine. But I
um,
basically used a lot. What did I use a lot? Let me see here. I
I
used the
used the
knockback
jumping
one just because. Yeah, the jumping one is a key.
Yeah,
Jumping
you
one
gotta
makes
have
things
that
so
one.
much better. But yeah, I
Yep,
used
you don't have to use
jumping.
the table to get on everything.
No, jumping, knockback spin. I think I just had it on just to have it on because it was like, ah, whatever, who cares?
Mhm.
Maybe heart pin. I think I had on.
I would swap out like the Gerudo sandals and the ice spikes and things like that, depending on where I was,
Right.
because those were nice.
I don't think I ever got
Um,
the ice spikes. I was just slipping around the whole time, like whoa,
Sliding away.
which is fine. Like it
Yeah,
wasn't that big of a deal.
I think I used one of the like mastery scrolls so that it would use less of my energy.
I mean, that's smart.
And then in game, like when I was walking around, I had the might bell on so I could try and find those little crystal things. But then I was like, I'm not doing all this. So,
Yeah,
oh,
makes
I didn't
sense.
even get some of these.
Yeah, some of them I was like, oh, I never saw this. Oh well,
Oh, I also had the curious charm on to
because
reduce
you were very
damage.
curious.
No, I wanted to reduce damage.
That makes sense. I never saw that or got it, so I was just like taking full damage the whole time. Just like
Oh.
the whole time I was kind of thinking like, I wonder if there's actually something in here to like make it so I don't take this much damage. But you know, like whatever. Who cares? I got a bed. I could just sleep on it. I got like a
Yep.
bunch of smoothies. I'll be fine.
Yeah, the
I made
smoothies were
so
cute.
many golden smoothies before the final fight and like used like 2 of them.
They're so cute though. I like the idea of the smoothies.
Yeah.
Um, Although like there were a few times that I combined things and it made the like gross smoothie and I felt bad about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I thought that would work.
I would just
Nope,
sell them
didn't
back to him.
do. I did too.
It's like, oh, you're
It,
full up. Here, you want some gross smoothie? Thanks. All right, let's make more.
except for that one Zora. There's a Zora, a sea Zora, who's like, I want one of those unspeakable smoothies. And I was like, boy, I got something for you.
What is wrong with you?
He was in love with them. He's like, oh my God, this like chunky texture and this like unspeakable smell. And I'm like, boy, are you okay? Are
Bruh.
you all right? He's like, no, I'm obsessed with this now. This is my entire source of being is the gross smoothie. Like,
Nope.
good for you for finding your love in life, my guy, but like gross. He's the guy who runs the item shop in the Zora town. It's like you need a hobby that's not gross smoothies, man.
uh.
Um, there's something else. Oh, um, two of the stories that I wanted to talk about were one, I did like the Goron story of him like trying to come into his own as like the chief
Yeah.
and like get out of his dad's shadow. I thought that was a really cute story. And I liked that quite a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but can we talk about the tragedy that is that little kid on the mountain, the little snow abominable snowman
Oh
guy
yeah, yeah.
who's waiting for his older brother to come back, but his dad's also dead.
And then like he thinks
Oh
his
my,
brother comes back and he hates him, and he's like,
yeah,
I
oh, it's
guess I
so
wasn't doing good because I was just waiting here and didn't clean up the mountain enough.
it
It's
was
like, bro.
heartbreaking. It was so sad.
But he was so optimistic and like kept a good mind about everything.
He did. And like there's a side quest with him after you beat that area
Hmm.
where like he's like, "Hey, my brother said that if we do this snowball that like, good things will happen and maybe he'll come back." And I'm like, "Oh, buddy. Oh no." Which I mean, I guess in the credits it did show that he came back, but I was like,
Yeah.
I felt so bad for that guy because he's like obviously by the way he speaks and everything, like he's some degree of child.
Yeah.
Like he's not a very old
And like in the paintings
fighter.
and like the depictions like of his whole family, he's like a little guy essentially.
He's just a little guy.
Yeah.
But he's like, "Oh, Dad's not coming back." And I'm like, "Oh no, he's not coming back."
No.
And Try's like, "Oh, but why is his dad here? Why is he saying that this is his dad?" I'm like,
Oh,
"Try,
buddy. Oh,
try,
buddy.
try, please, try, please,
Shut up.
shut up, Try." Like, I get that you don't understand things, but like, come on. Um, but I was just like, I don't know, maybe it's because it's a sensitive time of year, or maybe I was just like,
No, that's
"Oh,
fair.
this is sad. This
That's
hurts."
that's that's fair.
He just wanted his brother to come back.
He did. He
He
just
thought
wanted to
his
do
brother hated
good.
him because he couldn't get rid of the goo. The whatchamacallits, the rifts. It was so sad. But I
He was
really
doing his
liked him.
best. Yes.
He was a good little guy. He was just doing everything he could. So I think that that's one thing that this game did really well is it had some really likable side characters.
Hmm.
Poor Impa got imprisoned.
Sure did.
Ripperoni and pepperoni. Um, Zelda's dad isn't a jerk in this one.
Well, he is for a little bit because he's been replaced by like uh,
Shadow
uh,
version, basically.
echo version of him. Yeah, who's like
Yeah.
Zelda did it. Lock her up. Throw away the key. Murder her.
But like her actual dad's like, "I love my daughter. She's the
Yeah.
best." Which is so different from like, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, Zelda's dad, who was just
Hmm.
like, "Child, I hate you." Like,
I,
oh.
I do also like as well that you could just let Zelda be a goblin.
Oh, I mean, Zelda was absolutely a goblin in my playthrough. I don't know about you,
Oh
but
yeah, for sure.
like, why would you not have her as a goblin?
Hmm. I like how upset or like just surprised everyone gets when you start throwing pots around.
It's so
Like,
funny.
huh.
Huh.
You're just like, ah.
I'm going to throw my pots around. It's very good. I enjoy that.
Hmm.
I like being a goblin, but you're aware of that.
Oh yes, of course.
It was fun. I really like this game.
Hmm. Yeah, like
Uh,
it's a fun 2D Zelda game. It's definitely different than all the other ones you can play out there. I like the idea of the ecosystem just being just like you can just have a crew of weird monsters fight for you.
mm-hmm.
The dungeons were fun. I thought very they were good, and they also kind of fit like the theme of where they were in the map and everything. I like the idea of Link being the damsel in distress, and then like once
I
you
do
free
like
him, he
that.
just nods at you the whole time.
He
He's
just
like
nods at you the
he
whole
goes ahead
time.
and then comes. He looks back behind you to make sure he followed you. Nod,
Nod.
do nod.
I did also like that I was able to just like drag him around at one point to solve a puzzle. I don't know how you solved that puzzle.
I think I just made him like a staircase essentially, so he could get up.
Yeah, so I didn't do that.
You
Um,
just got grabbed him and was like, all right, we're jumping.
I just grabbed him and jumped up like on like I had a few like beds or something
Hmm.
up and I just like jumped up those so that I could like put him on the platform where it needed to be. But he
He's
just
probably
like
like, huh,
he's
huh.
like squirming around like, "What are you doing? Why are you grabbing me?" He's like, "Sorry, Link, we gotta get out of here." Nod.
Hmm.
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 But then he gets so they give another explanation like they did in Breath of the Wild of like why Link doesn't talk. They gave an explanation here of like he fell into a rift as a kid and when he came back, like he lost his ability to speak. Um, but then they had him talking at the end and I'm just like, God, I hope he just told the king a dirty joke or something. Like I don't know what happened, but the king looked very shocked.
Everyone was like, "Huh?"
Huh? So like that's just what my brain said is Link told the king a dirty joke.
I do like the idea as well. I think it's interesting in this one that you can position Link and Zelda more as just like bros than just like
Yeah.
a romantic partnership that you usually kind of get with these games, because
Yes.
like they save the kingdom and everything, and then they just kind of just like they go off their separate ways, do their own things.
Yeah.
Link goes back
Yeah.
home and Zelda goes and does her stuff.
And I thought that it was going to be a situation where like they already knew each other, but like she didn't even
No,
know who the
yeah,
heck he was. Which makes sense with like some of the older Zelda games that like she may not know who he is before he shows up. It's like, hey, what up? I'm here to save you.
yeah.
But yeah, that she because they call him a swordsman, and then eventually like she meets people that explain like, hey, that's Link. That's
Hmm.
who that is. She's like, oh, okay. And you like go to his house, and okay, I don't know if you noticed this, but I did because it's me.
Of course.
Um, but that he has a hat on the side of his bed that's like his Link to the Past hat
Hmm.
with the gold band around it. I was like, oh, I love that. I love that. That's so good. But you know, he's got his little books and he's got his little fireplace and he's got his bed and he's got a little wood chopper outside. I don't know why I said it's a wood chopper. It's an axe. That's what it is.
I mean, it's a wood chopper. You're not wrong.
It is a wood, but it does have a technical name called an axe.
True.
But yeah, like they weren't aware of each other until they were, and then they worked together to save the world, and then like Link talks to the king and everybody moves on with their lives.
Hmm.
So I imagine there'd be like a camaraderie at least
Yeah,
post
totally.
this. But yeah, definitely no romance. Unless they
Nod.
want to in the future, but like the only romance in this game is Zora on Zora romance. I'm just
Uh,
saying. I want those two to get together. I don't know what kind of mutated weirdo babies that would be, but like they're cute. They're cute as heck together.
yeah, I also like I said, like I think the story is good in this. Like it's your traditional Zelda story, but
Hmm.
it is a little bit different, because like your big bad
Zelda.
at the end is not your who you typically think is going to be the big bad at the end,
Correct.
which is fun.
Yes, that is fun because like you get like a fake out that is going to be the big bad,
Yeah.
but it's not. You're like,
No.
"Oh, who are you? Who are you, my guy?" Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But it is cool to see like his old design back.
Yeah.
I guess I kind of spoiled one thing, but that's the fake out, so it doesn't matter. Also, he's like the very first thing you fight.
Yeah,
So,
that's true. But yeah, that's fun. Like, yeah, there's a lot of good things to be found in this game. I think the stuff like from Link's Awakening, were like one of the big criticisms of that was like the performance of it, and I didn't
mm,
really find a whole lot of bad performance in this. Like, it would get a little framey if like there was too much stuff on the screen, like there was like just too
mhm.
much happening. Like, it'd get a little framey here and there, but like I think other than that, it was relatively fine.
Yeah,
And
I didn't
I'm
really run
assuming it
into any
runs at
issues.
30. Like, it's probably not 60, but like if you've played something that was 60 recently and then you're playing this, you're gonna have like a little bit of an adjustment period. But like after that, everything's mostly fine. So I don't think there's really any issues there. I did not play this in handheld, so I don't know if there's a difference with that. But when it was
I
docked,
also
it was
didn't play it handheld.
totally fine. So yeah, I can't attest to it in handheld mode if there is a difference in the performance of it. But if you play it docked, it's totally fine.
Yes, I agree.
But yeah, I had a good time with this. I think the way the mechanics of this were fun. I like I said, like the echo stuff. Just
Being a goblin.
being a goblin, being able to like tackle puzzles at your own pace or however you want to see fit, and just throw stuff at the wall and see if it works. And if it doesn't, you just get rid of that stuff and try something new, and keep going until you figure out what works for you. Essentially,
Yeah.
playing as Zelda's really fun. I hope I would hope they do something else with like these mechanics and just something else with Zelda in general. Like I think this was a good time.
Yeah, this was a winning formula, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Also, like having the beds was pretty fun.
Yeah.
I love just being able to summon Zelda's freaking bed in
Yeah.
the middle of the dungeon and be like, all right, time for a nap.
Time for a nap. I need to rest up. Honk shoe.
Honk shoe. I'm gonna put on my jammies for this one.
All the while, there's like one of my monsters just like roaming around, like, better not anything come over here.
I had the same thing.
I'm just sleeping.
I put a little guy down there as like a little guard while I napped. Yeah, this game is wild. I enjoyed it quite a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
I put in I think they said 40 hours on Discord is what somebody said I put in.
That sure, I would believe that.
So I mean that's not insignificant amount of time to put into it.
No.
And
But you did like a lot of the side stuff and everything.
I like 99.9% of this game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if that gives you an idea of like how much time you're going to put into it, like 100%ing it's going to take you about 40 hours ish.
Yeah. How long the beat says like the main story itself. If you're just straight lining it, it's about like 20.
Okay, that sounds right.
So, yeah. There you go.
He's good.
New Zelda. It's fun. It's a good time.
Very fun. Very, very fun. Good time.
Good times to be had. So yeah.
Don't ride the horses. They're useless.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I definitely grabbed one at once and was just like, yay, horse. And then I was like, oh, this kind of doesn't do that great. And then I got Zelda's horse and was like, all right, let me bring you back to the ranch. See you later.
Bye.
Never coming back.
Nope.
I did one race and that was it. That was my horse experience.
Yeah, don't ride the horses, guys.
Yeah, it's
It's not worth it.
Not worth it, especially because like the options for maneuverability that you have with the echoes is just more than you'd have with a horse, and also you can just fast travel everywhere, so like you don't really need a horse.
Nope, you do not.
So there's that. But yeah.
Anyway, sorry, you were doing a wrap up. I just had to yell about the horses being.
No,
useless.
that's fair. That's fair. But yeah, that's going to do it for us this week. So if you'd like more from us, head on over to seasonalanimecheckup.com or sac.cool is where you can find past episodes of this podcast and other podcasts like Jared and Al Watch. You can also find columns and reviews on the site as well. If you'd like more from Anladium, go to anladium.com. She's got columns and reviews. You can follow us on Twitter and TikTok at Anime Checkup. You can follow us on Blue Sky at seasonalanimecheckup.com. You can buy our books, One Shiny Moment, a critical analysis of Love, Life, Sunshine, Hot Tubs, and Pac-Man on Amazon.com. And you can support us on Patreon, patreon.com/SACOVA. Buy us a slice of pizza, get access to unedited versions of the podcast early, our monthly exclusive Patreon podcast, and a whole wealth of bonus content up there on the Patreon as well. Next week is the last episode of October, so we gotta find something scary to talk about.
Oh shoot, is it really?
It is.
Oh dang. Okay, yeah, we gotta play a spooky game this week then, or next week, or this week. This week we gotta play it this week.
We definitely gotta do that.
We can do it this weekend.
For sure, yeah. I would assume that's the case.
Yeah. We got this. We can do a spooky. I don't know why I said do a spooky, but we can do it. Ooh.
So yeah, we'll figure something out and discuss that for y'all next week.
Yep.